So I've been coming on almost every day for 342 days. I think I missed a few days along the way. I started this around February, so as you can tell, I missed more than a few days. But I tried to come on as much as I could every day. But yes, so a daily dose of hope is it's just that. It's an attempt to bring us into hope, because the energies on our planet are increasing and they will continue to increase. We are in a period of the revelation. It's a period of revelation, but not the revelation of the Bible, but the revelation meaning the revealance of all that's been hidden. And that's the kind of period we're in at the moment, where things that were hidden are being revealed, and the energy is also charged, polarized, right? And that's the word that we use for this polarized kind of feeling. So here we have, let's see, here we have the yin and yang symbol. So I'll just blow this up a bit. We have this yin and yang symbol, and this is the symbol of our third dimensional reality. And as you can tell, there's two sides, right? There's one side and another side. And in one side, there's a bit of the other side. In the other side, there's a bit of the other side as well. And that is the nature of our reality. But if you look in the middle, it's kind of hard to see, but there's a line right here where they both meet. And this is the line that we try to walk down. If we can walk down this line without jumping into a polarity of either way, then can find ourselves in a place of creativity and a place of neutrality and a place where we can master this third dimension. That's the key to mastering this, is understanding that there's two sides, but we don't have to jump into them. We don't have to be emotional or angry or upset or all these different things. We can be in the middle path. Of course, it doesn't, I mean, we do get emotional. That's not to say that we become unemotional. It's just that we don't let our emotions control us. So we feel the emotions and let them pass through us and understand where they came from. So a very big part of this kind of spiritual process is understanding your emotions and understanding where they come from. And I would say maybe spiritual process is not the correct word, because as my guides have said before, we're all spirit, right? So everything we do is spiritual. So this kind of concept of someone being spiritual or not being spiritual is kind of silly. It's like, yeah, okay. We all are, no matter what we do, no matter if it's, so I guess the process of this third dimension is being aware of where we are, being aware of our emotions. And so that's one thing I wanted to talk about today. Before I go into it, this is my site. You can the links below. I have some offerings here. I have spiritual guidance sessions, which I offer. I've got 3 flavors, 1 question session where you just send in a question, 30-minute session, and 60-minute session. So for the 1-minute session, 1 question, like you don't even have to go, meet me online. If you want to just send in your question, that's fine as well. So that's up to you. That's that one. And then I also have these offerings here. If you click on the button, we have it's called Lightworker, and it is a membership group, and we join together twice a month, and we have live channelings. And yes, in addition to that, there's also a sound bath each month. And there's an archive of all of the old Q&A, so of the sound baths as well. So we have over 50 hours of channeling here that's available, and it's not loading up now. Hold on. But we have over 50 hours of channeling here. So you can scroll through it. Once you become a member, you have this. And we have transcripts and also the recordings of everything. So there's that. So I wanted to share that. And then I wanted to move on a bit to this. Let's see. I was talking about this yesterday. Our bodies, our different bodies. So our aura, as we call it, right? Or our biofield is split into 3 parts. We've got the physical plane, the astral plane, and the spiritual plane. And yesterday I was focusing on the physical plane, because when we talk about healing our bodies, a lot of times with normal medicine, we focus just on the physical body. We have a symptom, like you have a runny nose, and so, okay, so it must be the nose. I have to fix my nose. And so you use medicine to stop the nose from running. But then if you look at it, first of all, so holistically, then maybe it's not just the nose. The nose is connected with many different also parts of your body. It could be something wrong with your kidneys or something wrong with your heart that is affecting that. So understanding holistically where that's coming from. And then you take it to the next level, and maybe it's stemmed from something emotional that's coming up for you. And that emotion is coming up from your mental body, from the way that you hold yourself, the way that you hold your ideas. They say, for example, or one example is that I often go to my local acupuncturist because I sometimes have problems with my kidneys. Not in a Western sense style, but like in a more Eastern style. The kidneys have a lot of different functions, and one of them is when you're doing a lot of transmuting, they get pretty tired out. And so I often go to them, right? But so they can fix it for me, but then it keeps coming back again. And the reason is, it is something, I think, related to my mental body. It's related to the way that I hold, the thoughts that I hold, and the way that I'm doing the work that I do. And that once I can overcome that thought pattern, that idea, and then I can heal it myself, and I won't need to be healed anymore. But so that I am creating this, I am creating what is happening with my body through my thoughts, through my feelings, and also through my actions. And so that it's really important to understand that that's how your body works. So someone might have a incurable illness, or for example, and then someone cures them, but then it just comes back the next year because they're still holding those ideas, those emotions, those things are still there. So those things haven't been cleared out yet. And that's why healing can be a complicated process. So I wanted to talk about that, and then I have a whole bunch of different things today. The other thing I wanted to discuss is, I've talked about this before. I'm going to close some of these windows. I've talked about this before, but I'm a big fan of Bach, J.S. Bach. He is for me an amazing composer, and his music to me is sublime. It just it does something that no other music can ever do for me. When I listen to his fugues, or when I listen to his passions, or his organ sonatas, it's not a movement like my heart is being moved, but it's as if I'm being taken outside of this dimension. I'm seeing another dimension. And I've always found that there are no other composers that actually do this for me, that have that depth. And so I've often thought that maybe, and I've channeled about this before too, that Bach came from another civilization. He came from maybe one of the civilizations that are lost, that we don't know about, that was washed away. And in that civilization, they had quite advanced ideas about music, and that he was someone who survived that. He survived whatever happened to that society, and then he was moving into the age of enlightenment in Germany, and he was carrying with him what he knew of that time. And I often thought, sometimes I often think that maybe it was artificial intelligence, because at times his music can get so complex that it doesn't even seem human at times. I find myself sometimes listening to fugues, the art of the fugue it's called. If you're interested in listening to something that will blow your mind, check out the art of the fugue. And I would recommend listening to Andre Schiff's version. Many people prefer Glenn Gould, and I think Glenn Gould is wonderful too, but Glenn Gould kind of brings it more down to earth, but Andre Schiff just takes it out into the stratosphere. And so you can really just get into the depth of the music. I prefer Andre Schiff because Andre Schiff doesn't really interpret too much the music. He just kind of lets it be what it needs to be. And but to each his own. But yeah, so sometimes I'll be listening to Andre Schiff's Art of the Fugue and just taking a walk, and my mind will be blown within 20 minutes. I can't listen to it anymore because it's too much. I'm just in another world. So all right, so that's the thing. And I find a lot of Bach is from the Baroque period of music, Baroque period of classical music, in the 1600s. So that was, Vivaldi and Corelli and, and Bach and many other amazing composers. But none of these composers ever approach what Bach was doing. Their music is very beautiful, it's evocative, it's moving, but it's like a different world. It's almost, for me, like they're all imitating Bach's music. Like it kind of came out of nowhere and they don't even know how to understand it, and they're just trying to piece it together. Similar to someone finding an old civilization where everything was washed away and trying to figure out how everything works and how to put it together. And that's how I see a lot of the other Baroque composers. Hey, Michael, good to see you. Yeah. So, like, Bach, I think so. One theory about Bach is maybe the time was different. Maybe he was from the other era and he wasn't even in this area, and they just discovered his scores and they were trying to make sense of them. But I've often wondered that maybe they had some sort of, in his civilization, they had certain technologies. Well, the guide said that they had certain technologies, and so I just came up on my feed yesterday. There's this computer from 1650. It's called the Arca Musa Rhythmica, and it kind of looks like this. And it was created by, this is the official story, created by a Jesuit scholar named Athanasius Kircher in the mid-17th century. And so he was trying to create this music theory that combined all of the music theory of the time. And so he created this theory, and then he created this, well, it's like a computer, but it's a box with many different plates in it. And that you can, even if you are non-musical, even if you don't really know anything about music, you could set a text to music that you could use, for example, in the church. And so they have all these little musical rods in there, and they have all these numbers on them, and each number represents something. And then so people who weren't composers could also just make music so they could sing it in church. That's the official story. I kind of believe it, I guess, as far as I can throw it. There's a lot of things in history with people, with these guys, making stuff up. So we'll see. But the point that I wanted to bring up is that this is a device that was used to make music. It's kind of like almost like an artificial intelligence in that sense that we use now. And it's also called the musical arc, which I think and the organ, and it's not opening up for me. Oh, there it is. And this is the Organum Mathematicum. It was a similar kind of device, I think, and it was a teaching machine, and it could do calculations, arithmetic, cryptography, and music. So very interesting. So this kind of thing, like for me, when I see something like this, I see this as a possible imitation of possible old technology. Maybe there was an actual computer that didn't have metal rods in it, but it actually had mechanical or electronic components to it that was lost somehow, and the people were just imitating it by making this kind of version of it after, for example, a society disappeared. And so for me, this is really an exciting find, because the possibility that this might have been similar to the Bach computer, or this might have been Bach. Maybe there was no Bach. Maybe there was just this machine and everyone used it. Whatever they made from it, they called it Bach. So that's something I think is, for me, a very interesting idea. I'm not sure exactly. There are many different theories, and my guides have explained some of them. And so there is a similar to this. There's a tribe somewhere. Where is it? Is it the Dogon tribe? maybe it's the Dogon tribe in Africa, who they made. Let's see if I can find it. I think it's the Dogon tribe. Doggone it. Dogon tribe in Africa. Oh yeah, maybe it is these guys. Let's see. No, maybe it isn't the Dogon tribe. There was a tribe, and they made straw imitations of spaceships and all kinds of different things like that. And they didn't work, but they were really interesting, and they looked like more modern spaceships and spacesuits. And so maybe it's a similar idea. They saw something and they were trying to imitate it, but of course they didn't have the technology to, so they just imitated the shape. Anyway, that was my kind of spiel for today, about all that kind of stuff. So anyway, so I wanted to go into a channeling today, and I wanted to ask, another thing that's popping up a lot recently is the fake clouds in the sky. Recently, there's been a lot of chatter about fake clouds in the sky, and I know here in Japan we've got a whole bunch of them. They like to put them right above my house. Very nice of them, and so there's even, I think I saw the cloud almanac is being updated so that they have new names for these new clouds. So even the narrative is trying to shift to keep up with it. As we are in a state of where things that were hidden were being revealed, these things will start to come out more and more. And I'm finding more and more people talking about the fake clouds. Whereas before, if you talked about it, you would be shut down very quickly. Recently, it becomes a conversation. And so that's interesting for me. I don't know the timing for it, but I know with all of the things that we see outside of us, the fake clouds, you could be very angry at them. I'm upset about them, for example. Or you could see what it is that they have been increasing because it's important for us to acknowledge them first. We need to know what's going on in our world in order for us to change it. If we don't know what's going on, then we can't change it. And so there's that, and similar to the biofield we're talking about, this whole biofield that we have is it's electric, right? We are an electric body. Like our brain sends electrical signals down to move your arms or move your hands and to blink and all of these different things. And in addition to that, we hold in our different bodies, our emotional body, our mental body, we also hold energy. It's called our biofield, and this has been this is not pseudoscience anymore. This is science now. You can look it up on NIH. They talk about the biofield now. What used to be called, right, the aura. And thank you to Sabrina Wallace for really going in depth into all this stuff, for being an amazing teacher about this stuff. So that is, it's all electric, and so we have to really understand how all of these different things affect us. So, for example, the fake clouds, or the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Gs, all these different things, they directly affect our fields. And so it's very important, I find, that to clear your fields all the time, to do a lot of clearing. I just sing through my chakras every morning, sometimes twice a day. I do a lot of clearing that way. So it's really important to always remember that. What's it? I sing the body electric. So I'm going to go into a channeling, and I'm going to ask. So I've talked about a whole bunch of different stuff today. I guess I just had a lot of stuff on my mind, and I'm going to go into a channeling and ask them if they have anything to add or anything to clarify. So here we go. Greetings. We are Sandalphon, and we're here, and we're here, and we're here. And we're very happy to be here, to be able to share this space with all of you, to be in this space with you. This space is a wonderful space to be in. The space that you are occupying is the space that no one else can occupy. You are occupying that space in that time, in that second, in that frame. And it is you who is changing that space and framing that space and creating that space for everyone else around you. You will question at times your power. You question how powerful you are. You think that you're powerless. You think that your existence has no meaning. But what we would say to you is that your idea of meaning has no meaning. If you are looking at your life as meaning within this third dimension, then we would say that has no meaning. As you understand, this third dimension is very illusory once you pass through it. This has no meaning, but what has meaning is your interaction with all of the things you see. That has meaning. But these meanings that you place on things, the importance of things, this is important, this is not important. You are important. You holding the space that you're in is important. You being exactly where you are is important. You bringing down the light that you are and just being where you are is so important, especially in these days, especially since many of you who are listening to this are anchors of light. You're here to anchor the light. You're here to hold down the light, to bring the light that's within you that you get from your maker, from source, and just to hold it. And so in that sense, there's nothing very important for you to do outside of that, because that is the most important thing that to do at this moment, to be holding this light, to be holding it down for others to see it. And that's how you shine your light out. That's how you help others see the light. That's how you help others to see that there's a path outside of the path that they know. So you are trailblazing. You are cutting down the leaves, cutting down the weeds so that there is a pathway. You're creating that pathway every day. And even though it's hard because there are no paths there and you are walking through the thorny bushes trying to find your way, understand that you are creating the path. You are making the path for many others who will be able to follow. So you are trailblazers. You are walking the walk of power. And so understand the power that all of you have to do this. Now, to talk about what this being has been talking about, he has talked about many different topics. And so what we would say to all of you is that yes, you are in an era of disclosure where things that were hidden will be revealed. But always remember that the things that were hidden are not the point. That is not what you should be focusing on. You are free to focus on whatever you want to focus on, but the focus should be on you. The focus should be on your well-being, your emotional, mental, physical well-being. That is the most important part. So when you see these things that are being disclosed and you understand that they can be shocking sometimes and they can knock you off your path at times, always to understand that your emotions are the most important thing. Your reaction to all of this is what this is all about. Now, you've come here in this time period. You were born in this time period. We would say you were born for this. You were born for this time period. You have trained so much through so many different lifetimes. So you were born for this time. So understand that as you walk gracefully through these disclosures, as you walk gracefully through these things that you didn't know existed. As you walk gracefully through these things, understand that your choice is only love or fear. Do you love or do you fear? And those are the only real two choices available. And we would say that love will help you. Love will be easier. To choose love will make your path so wonderful and graceful. To choose fear will take you down a very, very difficult path. So this is what we would say. Choose love, choose love, choose love. All right, guys. So I'm going to do a quick pocket of peace too again, because in my town I was taking a walk, and I looked up and I saw these helicopters, and then I looked on I have an application that says, where they're going, and they were circling this one area of my town, and it turns out like someone just went crazy in their car, and they where there was a lot of people, and I don't know what's happening with it, but I was sensing it all day. There's a bit of a heaviness in the air. It is April 1st here in Japan. April 1st, April Fool's, right? In other countries. In Japan, April 1st is the beginning of the year, beginning of everything. It's a very serious time. I don't feel it because I grew up in the West, so September is the beginning. But so here, everyone it's a very serious time. It's the beginning, and so there's a lot of stuff, a lot of stuff going on. So what I'd like to do is do a pocket of peace for this tree at this moment, and also for all of you, for everyone that needs some help, just getting into that middle path and not jumping into those polarities. So here we go. Michael, you say, thanks heaps. I lost a bit of my hope today. Oh, all right. Let's get it back. Let's get it back. All right. So I want you to imagine that you are in a place that makes you feel the most relaxed. Just be in that place. Good. And then in this place, I'd like you to imagine a mist of unconditional love that comes in like a cloud of golden light. It surrounds your body, and you feel warm, and you feel like you're at home, more home than you've ever felt before. And then this unconditional love, which is your birthright. All pain is gone, all sadness is gone, all fear is gone, and all hope is back, all love is back. And you feel quite relaxed, and you feel good. You feel like you should feel, like just naturally good and at home kind of feeling. It feels good. It's such a relief to feel this feeling again. And this feeling is yours. This feeling is just the feeling of your birthright, the feeling of unconditional love, which is what you're made of. You're made of unconditional love. You are made of unconditional love, and whatever you do is love. So everything you do is love. You're making love every second of the day, if you can imagine that. So now I'd like you to imagine that this love just kind of expands into your heart and then throughout your body. And you start to feel that there's nothing to worry about. There's nothing to regret. And then your whole body starts to feel warm. And then this love just expands out from your body and then into the space that you're in, so that everything in this space is just filled with love, and everything is just illuminated. Everything, even the inanimate objects, the windows and the floors and the ceilings and the desks and the tables and the rocks, and everything is just on fire with love, unconditional love. And then this love just wants to expand out more. It's just expanding and expanding. It's too big for the space that you're in, because it is everything. It is the truth, and it just wants to go out, and it does, out through the windows, and it goes out throughout all of the highways, all of the byways, all of the riverways, all the subwaves, all of the underground waves, and even the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and even 7 frequency waves that are being spent, or that are being shown out into this world, that we use for our personal computers and all of these devices, these frequencies as well. So it's shooting out within all of these waves, and it's going out throughout the mass consciousness like that, traveling at the speed of love, which is faster than any speed, because love is the only thing, it's the only truth. And so if it's the only truth, it will be very fast, because it travels faster than any illusion, the illusion of speed of sound, or the illusion of the speed of light. No, truth is the only thing. So it is fast, because it's real. It is the only thing that's real. And so it travels and it travels and it travels throughout all the mass consciousness, so that everyone around the world is just stopping what they're doing. And they're saying, wow, I feel that. I don't know what that was, but it feels great. I feel like I just woke up after a deep sleep. I don't know where I was. I don't know what I was doing, but it was deep and dark, but I'm back. I'm back now, and I got that feeling. I got the feeling that the universe has got my back. I got this thing. This thing cannot get me down. This cannot stop me. Whatever this is that's trying to stop me, it's not made of love. And So it cannot, has no power. What's not made of love has no power. The shadows, we shine our light into the shadows. They're gone. They are illusions. It's all love. And so that's what we're doing. And we see it. And we're starting, everyone around the world is starting to see it. They're saying, no, no, no. These illusions have no power over me. I'm made of love. I'm here to make more love. I'm here to bring heaven onto earth. That's what I'm doing. So I see something outside of myself that I don't really like, something that seems to be fearful. And what I do is I shine my love on it. Look at that. And it's changing into a love story. All stories of sadness, all stories of fear, all stories of anger are now love stories. Everything is a love story now. Look at it. The whole story has been shifted because that's the power that we have. Because once we realize who we really are, we shine our love out. And once we got our love back, once we realize the universe has our back, then we've got all our hope back. And now we're ready to take on all these things that seem so big and looming in the way, and we're just bigger than all of them. And we could just step on all of the problems. We could squish them right under our foot, but we won't, because we're made of love. We're just going to gingerly step over them, and we're going to continue on our way, because love, no need to step on things. Love has the only need just to expand and expand. And now everything is a love story. All stories of fear, all stories of sadness, all stories of anger, all stories of regret, all stories of hopelessness. Love stories. They're all love stories. All the frequencies that are being sent all throughout our worlds and in our homes, they're all frequencies of love now. We've shifted those frequencies. All of those clouds in the sky, those fake clouds, love clouds now. They're love clouds. We've changed them into love clouds. All right. So, hope you guys are hopeful. Hopefully I'll see you all tomorrow. Yeah, sending lots of hope out to everyone around the world, and, you know, everyone that needs it. I know that, I think I can sense there's a bit of a heaviness. And so we're sending the love out into it. You know. All right. So as they say, well, as you know, go beach, and hopefully you're hopeful. I hope you're hopeful, and hopefully I'll see you all tomorrow. So ciao for now.